All right, part 7. Bringing it all together. You're doing it on your own. All right. Let's start out with your sheet, your finger, and your wood piece there. The wrist, I guess. Line it all up using the sheet as a template. And we're going to glue this cable to the rest of the leather now. Don't burn yourself. It's hot. Glue it on the other side. All right. Moving on. Okay, fish that little sucker through there, that wire, put it through that channel block. Gently, you don't want to catch one of those braids. Alright, now pull it out a little bit. Now we're going to apply glue to the leather. Try not to get it on that braided cable that acts as a tendon. And we'll put that back in place, and then we'll press down firmly and let it adhere. That looks good. Alright, now let's finish up that gluing on that leather strip. Glue it down, press it in place, let it dry or cool off, whatever it does. Set. And give you an idea where that tube is. Kind of imagine where it's going to be. I'm gonna drill a hole in here now, and then I'm going to insert a screw. It makes me feel very comfortable and secure. Careful not to drill through that tube. You want to avoid the tube at all costs. Anyway, that's just a pilot hole. Always want to drill a pilot hole, otherwise your wood may split. Alright, now we'll secure that leather in place. That thing ain't going nowhere. And clip off that extra bit of cable on the top, not the tendon cable. Don't cut the tendon cable. You need that. Look at that, it's like fanning out, fraying everywhere. And use 2 hands. Alright, looks good. Looks great. Now on to the next one. Feed the tendon cable through. Apply glue to the cables. I'm going to apply the glue first and then feed the tendon through. I always get super impatient towards the end of a project. I just want to get it done. I think the most fun part of a project is figuring it out. and then knowing that you could finish it. I don't really get all that much gratification from actually finishing a project. It's the learning process I enjoy. Gluing it like we did before. Make sure everything's in line. Like that, need a little more glue there. And nice and secure. Then again, we're going to drill a pilot hole and then screw that in place. Notice how I'm like towards the edge of the leather. I do not want to drill through that tube in there. I'll go ahead and do this with the rest of the fingers. The hardest part of the project is coming up. That's where we attach the finger rings. I got so frustrated when I was doing that. Looks like I felt it needed glue on the top too. Alright, do that with the rest of them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mark these, we're going to mark those cables. What you want to do is you want the two inner fingers there to be longer, or shorter, I guess, than the outer fingers. It's just the way your hand sits in there. It's a lot easier. I've got a setup where they're all the same length, and that pinky gets hard to control. So what I'm doing here is I'm marking the area that's going to be covered with the clamp. That clamp that holds the ring to the cable. That little sheet metal square piece we cut earlier. It'll be a little easier to see once I pull that sheet away. There, you can see where I've got my marks. You're going to clip at the end, just like that. Okay, notice the 2 minutes are a little smaller than the outer fingers. Get your rings ready. And get your little metal pieces ready. Now this doesn't work very well. I used camera tricks to make it look like it's awesome. What we're doing is we're putting glue inside that metal piece, and then we're gonna cradle that cable in there. If you hold it long enough, it should dry. I mean, it works sometimes, just not all the time. So 60% of the time, it works all the time. A little Anchorman humor there. All right, now apparently that glue is dry, so we're going to set the ring in there. It's just, that metal piece is just covering the tip of the ring and the tip of the cable. Well, you know what I mean, you can see it. And again, we're going to sort of coil this around the cable and the ring. And it helps to bend the finger, because that'll give you a little bit more room to work with, especially when you're doing the middle fingers. This part can be super frustrating, but don't lose your patience. If you do lose your patience, just take a little break. Get some ice cream or something, and come back to it. I got really mad when I was doing this part. Once you get that part going, I mean, once that part right there is done, the rest, it's so easy. It's just getting that started sucks. And that's really the hardest part of the whole thing. I mean, other than cutting the metal with the hacksaw. Looking good. Alright, tighten up your vice grip, because we're going to crimp this sucker on there now. I imagine instead of using these metal parts, you could probably use some like wire butt splice connectors. I didn't know how strong those would be, so I didn't want to attempt it. I like the whole raw material feel of this. Look at that. Works great. Now let's do another one. That one you definitely want to bend the finger when you're trying to put that wire on. That one sucks. It doesn't seem like it's that middle finger's offset that much from that index finger, but really it makes a huge difference. Oh no! One of our rings is turned the wrong way. What do we do? Easy. You just pinch it in the pliers, right there, just like that. And then start the car. Let's give it a little turn. Alright, now our rings are overlapping a little bit, so let's sort of bend those wires in a minute. Doesn't that look cool? Mechanics. We'll bend those wires a little bit, make it look all nice and neat. Alright, now we're going to make some little grommets for the rings. Now this tube is just some cheap plastic tubing I got at the hardware store. I think it's a 1/4 inch outer diameter. You can find it in the plumbing section. It was like 7 cents a foot. So you're going to cut this at 2 inches. Or 1, 1 3/4 inches, 2 inches, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it said on the ruler. And we'll clip that off. And we'll make one for each ring. Okay, get you a little box knife thing, razor knife. And we're going to slit it down the middle. Really hard to do that straight. Always kind of curves over. Then we'll just cut out get the scissors in there. Cut out about 1/8 of an inch of that. Just a little strip. It's like rubber or plastic tubing. I can't remember. It's really soft plastic. Okay, we got our 4 little pieces there. Make it look like that. Then you're going to put that inside the ring. I mean, this you don't have to do, but the other version of my monster hands were just the bare ring, and my god, that kills your fingers. After like 5 minutes of using it, like your fingers just hurt like hell. So I made these, and this is like super comfortable. You put that in there and then glue it in place. And put your finger in there, round it out, make it nice and comfy. I'm going to hold it for a little while with that glue set. The glue is still a little warm. I'm going to use that to my advantage and squeeze that, wrap it around that ring a little more. Alright, see all that extra crap there? The outside of the ring? We're going to cut that off. We're going to make that a little more smooth. Because with that on there, it catches on the other rings and you're moving your hand. We're going to make a nice little transition. It's funny, I made this costume for my son, and he's 13. He was 12 when he wore it. He complained the whole time he was wearing it, and he says next Halloween he's just going to get a store-bought costume because mine are too elaborate and uncomfortable. I was kind of hurt by that, but I thought it was funny at the same time because they are a huge pain in the ass. Alright, we got 4 rings done. So comfortable. Feel the power. Alright, now we got to keep that hand from moving all over the place when you're using it. So, just going to make a quick little strap for your forearm using duct tape. Measure that out, whatever is going to wrap around your forearm. I got little forearms. I think I measured that out at, what, 20 inches? Maybe less. You're going to take another piece a little bit shorter and tape it to the sticky side of the piece you just cut. You could probably make a more permanent solution, but like I said before, I was at the end of my project and really getting tired of working on it. And this just popped in my head. I'm just going to wrap around that dowel there. Around the other side. And connect the two. Yeah, fits pretty good. Loosey-goosey, but not too loose. I'm real happy with that piece sort of flopping around like that, so I'm going to tape it up on the inside. All right, we are done. That is it. Finally finished the tutorial. Appreciate your time. You actually sat through all this. It's kind of cool. Kind of really cool. Of you. There we go. Let's put them on. Little test run. Look at them fingers fly. Yeah, it's great. So you can make these fingers as long or as short as you want. Make the hands like twice the size even. You know, it's all relative to those that tube channel block. All right, that's it. That's it. Again, thank you for watching the little tutorial series. Good luck and have fun with your projects.